we'll get going. I know some of you have a concert to get to after this. Some of you, it's beautiful outside, so you want to get out of here. I get it. So thanks for coming tonight. Appreciate you being here. The purpose of this is to update you a little bit on some of the changes we've been making, and then a fairly big change next year for a scheduling platform. One of the common questions I get as an activities director is calendar questions, and I want to try to clear some of that up. We think we have a better program to use. It's going to make it a little bit more clear, so I wanted to show you that tonight. Also, just give you access and ask me questions, stuff like that. Things that I can do better, please talk to me. But wanted to show you some things that we've been working on so far. We've had a really good year. We've had quite a bit of success in sports. We've had a lot of success in our band and choirs and in all of our activities. We really have had a really great year, and we're really excited to finish it strong. So we just qualified a bunch of kids in track. We just had a boys golfer in the second round of golf, which was awesome, compete today. We had our band that scored a perfect score in our last large group, a choir that nearly scored a perfect score. Really good, both Division I's. Anyway, we've had a really good spring, and then we're really excited for our summer sports. Baseball has their first game tomorrow. Excited about that. They're at Charles City. They have their home opener here on Thursday night, so really excited. A lot of stuff going on. So we've had a really great year. We're providing, I think, some really awesome things. If you didn't know, Coach Miller, Jackson Miller, is a certified strength coach. He's been offering strength classes through PE all year. He's been doing a great job. They have before and after schools for sessions for middle school kids as well. If your kid is involved in that yet, I wanted to throw up there in the bottom right-hand corner is a list of our summer opportunities for strength conditioning. So after school's out, Coach Miller is going to open up the weight room roughly from 7 to 10:30. You see our different sessions there. And then also be willing to work with our 7th and 8th graders and incoming 5th and 6th graders a couple days a week as well. That information is going to all be sent out to you. Just wanted, while you're here, why not share it with you, right? So that's going to be going on this summer for strength conditioning. Our band and choir has brought in a ton of clinicians. We've been able to provide that for our kids. Katie Lemaire, if you haven't heard that, we've had access to a nutritionist all year, and she has made some big differences in some of our kids that have been following what she's saying. And actually, just new news on that is the Booster Club has actually agreed to bring Katie in for all of our sports. We'll have their own individual, like this year we only did like 4 meetings with Katie, okay? The Booster Club's going to pay for all of our sports to have a meeting with Katie Lemaire, plus like 3 throughout the year parent-only like Zooms throughout the year to try to just educate how we can fuel our athletes better. And so she's been really good, does a great job, so we're going to continue to work with Katie. We just started this spring a character and leadership development class during our TAS time called Level Up with kids. We got our last meeting coming up on Wednesday. That's been really good. And, of course, you guys all know there's a new facility coming. So there's a ton of awesome things going on here that we couldn't be more excited about. All right, so one thing for next year that right now I get a lot of questions on calendars. We got a lot of them out there. If you click on the Algona app, it brings up a calendar. And I'm just going to tell you right now, currently we're struggling with that app calendar. It's not talking well to our scheduling platform. So until we get better news, let's just don't use the app calendar. Okay? It's just not updating. So when we cancel or we postpone or when we change a date, they're not talking for some reason. All right? So app calendar is not great. But linked on our home website, so if you go to algona.k12.ia.us, you click on district calendar, that currently takes you to a platform called Our School. Our School is just what we've been using for probably the last 10 years or more. It's got good things. It's got bad things. Recently, you've probably heard of it because when you go most places right now, some places, and we use their ticketing system, but you've probably heard of GoBound. GoBound is a scheduling platform. Currently, right now, all of our varsity sports are required to enter information into GoBound already. So we were keeping calendars in 2 different places, a third if you talk about our app. And so we're trying to cut down our mistakes so we can communicate better to you. What was supposed to happen is you would change Our School one, it would change our app. and then we'd have to go change the bound. So we're managing 2 calendars. So anyway, we're going to move away from our school and going to be linked on our website soon for the 2024-25 school year will be this calendar that goes to Go Bound. You can get to it right now. I actually have all of the summer stuff plugged in. I've got most of the fall. Switching calendars, by the way, not easy, by the way. It's pretty labor intensive. So bear with me and give me a little patience, all right? But right now I'm through fall athletics. I still have to go in. We got to add our concerts and all those stuff. But there's a lot of neat things that I'm going to show you about this. But some other things, I'll show you the calendar. That's really important. Another thing, too, that's really important in our world is registration. This has happened, I know it has, for a number of different reasons. To participate in sports, you have to have a physical, you have to have a concussion form. How many of you have gotten that done, sent it with your kid, and then it never gets back to me somehow? All right, maybe none of you, but it's happened, all right? Okay, so whether that was they gave it to the coach forgot to give it to me, you gave it to kid forgot to give it to coach, you find it in the backseat of their car, whatever, right? It's happened. Okay, we're trying to eliminate that stuff. Oh, and then we field, and this is not bad, we field phone calls like, hey, just check in, when does my kid's physical expire? And then we pull out the paperwork, because we're the ones that have the paperwork. You gave it to us. You don't have it anymore. Okay, and we look it up for you, we get back to you. Not a big deal. Okay, so anyway, but we're going to make this easier. All right, and I've tried it with my own kid. If you got a 3rd grade daughter, you don't have to add them to Bound, but Claire Jacobson's added to Bound. I'll show you what that looks like here in a little bit. But it's going to be really easy. You are going to read and sign your concussion document, information document that all athletes have to sign every single year. That's a state deal. You're going to read and sign it on there, so you don't have to sign the paper and then send it back. You're also going to take the picture of your physical and upload it from there. And we've got Adam Orban back there has made step-by-step for either whether you're doing it on your phone, whether you're doing it on your computer, made step-by-step videos for you, a flyer that you can follow. We've got a number of schools in our conference that have gone this route, a number of schools across the state that have used the registration. It's really good. All right, so it eliminates paperwork. We will have a little bit of a transition year. You know, some of your kids won't have to have a physical until, like, say, January, right? You don't have to go out and get your physical now and upload one now. We know how insurance works. You can't do that like you can, but you have to pay for it, right? But so we're going to have a little bit of transition here where we have a little bit of paper, but starting in 24-25, okay, so for next school year, we're going to start collecting all those documents on Bound. That's going to require you to have to register on Bound. You'll see what that looks like a little bit. It's really simple. Like I said, I've set up our family. I've set up my daughter, Claire. You can add all of your kids that are going to be in activities, and you can go through and you can register from them activities. So when you register them on Bound, they'll ask you for their cell phone number. The other cool thing about what I'm excited about for Bound, my thought is it's eventually going to replace Remind. No more will you have to have codes to sign up for this class or this sport or whatever. When you register, it'll have your number. It'll have your kid's number on there. And then so, like, say I can talk about football, right? So for football, I can go into Messenger and I can message just the players with a message like, hey, locker room opens at 5. You guys probably don't want to know that, right? But your kid needs to, all right? So hopefully I'm not giving you too many messages. Or I can message our kids, our parents. I can message followers, so you can go to Bound and you can follow the football program if you're an aunt and uncle that lives somewhere else. I can message everybody, hey, our game's been moved up 30 minutes due to inclement weather incoming or whatever, right? So everybody knows, and I can just go to Messenger, do that. We would obviously put that all out on our app stuff too, but if it's something just specific to our team, we can share it out there. So my opinion is I'm hopeful that Bound Messenger will probably replace Remind, all right? So also important that you go and you register yourself and your child for Bound, okay? So I've been told, by the way, by many that messaging on Bound may be the best thing that Bound's done so far, okay? I would tell you right now to download the Bound app, except for right now they're going to completely rehaul it and release it in August. And for some reason, one of the reasons they're doing it, their app currently freezes. I just log on to it through Safari on my phone, but their app sometimes freezes. It's not being good. They're completely redoing it. and it's supposed to be really good. So I was going to go through some of the app stuff for it, then I found out they're going to redo it. So anyway, I'm going to show you some things. Like I said, there's going to be printed instructions, so you don't have to sit here and try to click with me and whatever. I just wanted to show you some things if you've never been there. Like I said, this will be linked to our website soon, but you can literally just Google search Go Bound Algona, and it'll be the first thing that pops up. It'll look something like that. Many of you have seen this before. If you've gone to any girls' events, girls' union events, you've had to pay via Bound, right? Online tickets only. Some schools have gone that route too. But anyway, you go to Go Bound Algona. It lists all of our activities that we currently have and what we will have on there. So anyway, this is what will be linked to our website, the calendar. It looks very similar. It's pretty intuitive. Looks very similar to what our current one looks like. Okay? Looks very similar. What I like better about it is this little filter here. You can select only the activities that you want to see. So the school events, by the way, would be everything from like parent-teacher conferences to staff development days to all that stuff, the school calendar when you want to know. That would be school events. Or like right now, we've got baseball and softball in there. If you just wanted to see baseball, you can click on baseball. I chose that because I know that I have it in there. Okay, like I said, there's a transition here. So, all right, I'm working on it. Okay, but there's the baseball schedule. Even if you wanted to go farther in that, say your son doesn't play high school baseball, plays junior high baseball, you can filter farther. Their games don't start until June. That's why you didn't see anything. There they are. Maybe you've got a son in junior high and a freshman. You can choose both of them and get both of them. We've got great acoustics here. I heard some parents earlier talking about how many Google Calendars they have. I have the same thing for the record. I've got a ton of them. You can subscribe to any calendar you want by clicking this button right here. And you can click what you want to subscribe to. Maybe you want everything. All right? And then just create calendar link, and it'll go to your Google, your Apple Calendar, you name it. So you can follow on there. And it does update when I make changes. So if the track meet was supposed to start at 5 and it got moved to 4:30, it will update. Now, it won't notify you. It'll just update it unless you set up some sort of notifications on your phone. Okay? So I think their calendar in our school, that was a lot harder to follow, in my opinion. There's a whole bunch of tabs on the right side for those of you that were interested, or then you had to know what everything was named, and it was kind of brutal. Not going to lie. All right, there's another way, though, too, that you can look for activities. Click on our Bulldog here. It'll take you back to your main page. Other things that you can do, like one big question I get is I want to know when all the choir concerts are. If I go click on choir, we've only uploaded one because we're testing it. And right there should be all of our choir. And by the way, that's all of our high school choir. We can filter it down farther to middle school as well. All right, so that'll be band, that'll be choir. That'll split out all of our events that we currently host, which is a lot. We host all these things down here on the left side. So those are some cool things. Also, if you forget who people are in our district, you've got our directory over here on who you can contact. At the same time, if you didn't look at our directory, if you just went to, I'm picking on baseball a lot because I know it's all up to date and ready to roll. I'm kind of testing it, but if you clicked on staff, you would see all of our staff right there. If you weren't sure who the middle school coach was, you could filter down into junior high, and you could click on staff, and you can see that Cameron Nardoni is, right? So a whole bunch of different ways of things that we can communicate better to you on our end, all right? I believe this notifications thing is how you follow a team. I haven't done that yet, so like, for me, I've got a nephew at Parkersburg. If I wanted to follow his tennis team, I could. It would give me notifications on how they did, score updates and stuff like that. All right, anyway. So what we're also going to get on there, again, we're switching it, so I'm trying it. You can register for camps. I had them put our football camp on there that we host in the fall. So you can click right there, and you can host camps. You can pay for it right there online. You can order your shirts, everything right there online. What I was talking about earlier, by the way, our school we use the tickets over here too. If you wanted to buy your tickets in advance, you could do it there too, but we can also pay at the door in Algona, but that's where you can find it. Anybody that we play, so like on May 20th, we go to Pokey for softball. They've already set up. You could buy tickets there, stuff like that. But this button right here, what I was talking about earlier, registration for sports. Okay, if you click on registration, I'm already logged in. And see, I've created my 3rd grade daughter. That's kind of wild, actually, to be honest with you. Okay, there's a couple different ways that you can upload Claire's documents. You could click on register for activities, and here I started filling out stuff for the fall. I've got work on it. I haven't opened it up until July 1. So typically in the past, we haven't accepted concussion forms for the next school year until July 1. That keeps us organized in a way that we know that you've turned it in again for the next year, and we're not tracking everybody's days from when they turn in their concussion form. You realize how that'd be difficult, right? So we make July 1 kind of the cutoff there. And so say Claire wanted to play volleyball or whatever, that registration would be open, and we'd click on it, and it would take you to the required documents. So in that required documents, you could go that route, or by the way, say they're not in anything in the fall, and that's okay. You can click on documents, and you can start to upload. Sorry, I change this next year. That'll automatically be there. But here's where I could sign Claire's concussion form, and she can sign it. Here's where I could upload her physical. You could print that out. You could take a picture, I believe. Okay, and submit it. And once you do that, we get notified. And then it also plugs in the date. You're able to see the date for yourself, too. You still have the physical form, so you have that as well, too, just in case whatever. That's happened before, right? Someone's given us our physical form, and for whatever reason, it didn't get to me, or it got to me, and I misplaced it, right? That's happened before. It's happened to all of us, right? So you will have that. On our physical form, by the way, again, Adam is pretty awesome, and so is Liz Bradley. They're pretty awesome. They put QR codes in case you forgot how to do all that uploading stuff. You can take a picture of the QR code. It takes you right to a video, walks you right through it. It also tells you that the new state physical, we don't need anything except for the back page. In fact, we don't want any of the rest of it. We just want the back page. Okay? So, some other things that registration does, by the way, when you go and register for an event, it'll ask for like emergency contact numbers, all that stuff, or what do you want us to, it'll give us, if your kid gets seriously hurt, can we transport them to the hospital real quick, whatever, right? It'll ask you those questions. That will all be on our coaches' fingertips then, on their phone. They'll have their contact information, all that. We do that now currently, but this just streamlines it. It's a lot less work for us on our end. Does that make sense? Any questions? I know I went really fast. You didn't have to follow along for me. There's all paper, like step-by-step, all that to it. Go Bound Algona, if you were to Google search that, it's one of the first things that pops up. Okay? Any questions on how that works? You can upload that stuff right now if you wanted to, like I showed you how you could get to it. You just click on documents. Come July 1, they'll be able to register for fall sports, and then we'll open up winter sports, and we'll open up band and choir and all that stuff for the fall too and stuff. So, okay? All right. I know there'll be questions, but if you think of it later, you can ask me. All right. Anything else on calendars? Good change, you think? I think it's going to be a really good change. I hope so, anyway. All right, here we go. So, also something I wanted to increase some communication about breaks. So this is next calendar school year, 24-25. Some notable breaks coming up. So this summer, we have the State of Iowa Family Week, it's called. It's a non-event week. That's from July 28th to August 4th, so there won't be any practices or anything like that. No games. Okay? for 2025. It's July 27th through August 3rd. So common questions we get is when would be a great time to take a vacation, stuff like that. If it works out for your family, that'd be a great time. Okay? So that's Family Week. Spring break is going to be new to Algona Community School District in 2025. Just wanted to make sure you knew the difference so that during a spring break, golf, track, everything else that's going on can still practice. It's not a dedicated where there's no activities like Family Week. So spring break in 2025, March 17th through the 21st is the week. It's the weekends before that and after we try to keep available or off stuff too, but that's the official spring break. Okay, but like I said, yeah, spring break, I do know there's a couple track meets scheduled, indoor meets. I can just tell you that off the top of my head. I bet they'll be doing practices for stuff like for golf and stuff like that too. So I believe that's the first week of golf practice too, off the top of my head. So just want to let you know the difference. Same thing, winter break for next year is December 23rd through January 1st. Again, our coaches typically have practice throughout that week because they come back and they play right away again on like January 5th or something like that. Okay, so they got to practice throughout there. One change. For high school, it's not a change, but next year, Monday, or during our staff professional development days, next year they'll be on Mondays. Change for middle school activities, we will still have practice and events on Monday, no school days. Okay, so in the past, when they were Wednesdays, once a month, we didn't practice or have any games. Now that they moved to Mondays, that took some dates. We still need to have some events. So there still will be events on those no school staff professional development days. Okay. Again, more information, common questions that I get. Next school year, high school fall practices, they officially start on August 12th. Okay. Typically, some sort of camp is the week before August 5th. Like I showed you the football camp that was up there. We have camp on the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Band camp the week of August 5th through whatever. Volleyball always has a camp. That information will be coming out to your students here soon. We're meeting with all our kids on Thursday to give them calendars. Okay. Middle school fall practice is a common question. For me, it's always the first day of school. Okay. First day of school, that first day of school, bring athletic clothing, shoes or cleats to practice. After school, typically they report right to the gym, whether it's volleyball or football. They report right to the gym, and their coaches take them from there. Equipment needed for sports. We try really, really hard to provide as much as we possibly can outside of cleats and stuff like that you just have to buy because they're yours. All right, but outside of that, uniform stuff like that, we try to provide as much as we possibly can. All right. So that's the sport dates. Those are questions that we get typically every year. For middle school sports, for high school sports, you cannot practice until we have a current physical and this year's concussion form signed. All right, just want to make sure you know that. Again, there's that on the physical. It's the last page only. That's a change. It's now a 4-page document. We don't want all 4 pages. We just want the last page. Okay. Your physicals are good for 12 months plus 30 days. That's because of insurance. So you can have one a year covered by insurance, so that 30 days gives you a grace window. Another thing Bound will do when you register, Bound will send you updates and say, hey, your physical is going to expire in 60 days. Your physical is going to expire in 30 days. Your physical is now expired. You can't practice. And it sends it to your coach. It sends it to you. It sends it to your child. Okay? Anyway, I would recommend, obviously, those places are very busy. For the summer, for getting yours for next year, I would call and get that scheduled now. All right, they're really busy, which is good. Okay, concussion information is going to be signed on Bound. I just showed you how that works, and then we're also going to upload our student handbook, so that's easier too to fill that out. Okay. Wanted to give a short plug while I had you here. The Booster Club and the VIPs are incredible. They're an extension of our activities department. They support us with a ton of things. The list that they've purchased for both athletics and our music departments is incredible. I would tell you, as I have a group of adults here, that joining the Booster Club is the only way to get an adult pass. to all our sporting events. We don't sell those through the school. We sell them through the Booster Club. That's a huge value we offer. I was going to count, but I just didn't quite have time. How many events we offer in a year? It's pretty substantial. It's pretty good value for you. So I'd highly encourage you to join if you can. Also, would ask you to consider joining the board or volunteering at events. Our Booster Club, I know, has a couple members they've been on for a long time, and they're just eventually, their kids are gone, and they've been serving for a long time, so they're moving on. They're looking for some more board members. We meet once a month. You give me input. I bring things that we'd really love to see us buy, or coaches stop in and say, hey, could you purchase this for us? It's really good stuff. So I know that you guys do a whole ton of stuff, but if you're looking for one more thing, volunteering for the Booster Club and the VIPs is a great way to give back to our school. It really is. And if you don't want to be part of the board, just contacting anybody that's on the Booster Club saying you'd be willing to help in any way, volunteer in any way. If you have any questions, we've got a Booster Club member right back there, Emily Lampy. If you don't know Emily, feel free to talk with Emily. So, okay. Other than that, again, some frequently asked questions that I get. Can you practice or play without your paperwork? Come on, Mr. J, it's only one day. I promise I'll have it to you tomorrow. No. Sorry. Okay, that's not my rule. That's the state's rule. I don't get to make a change in that one, so no. So got to get your paperwork completed. Transportation, I get a lot of questions about transportation. Riding to an event, in extreme cases, we allow that. Please call me, have that approved, but only with an adult is what we would do. Same thing riding from. You can take your own child. You just have to sign out with your coach. You don't have to talk to me about that one. However, if I need Claire Jacobson to ride home with any one of you adults in the room, that has to be prior approved. All right? I need to talk with you beforehand. All right? And again, it's another adult. It's not going to be with a boyfriend or anything like that. Okay? So, last one we get, our activities and practice canceled if school has weather interruptions. That's a tough one. Not always. Okay? Sometimes the timing of it is bad. This is high school typically, all right? So a lot of times we'll communicate later. A lot of times it's really easy. It's very, very rare where we're able to sneak one in, all right? But just want to let you know it's possible. And then do we practice on no school days or professional development days that are now on Monday? Yeah, we do, all right? Unless it's that family week. That's the only one that we don't, okay? Other questions I get, can I coach? Would love for you to coach for us. You just have to be certified, all right? So in order to get coached, you have to complete the coaching certification process. You can find that at many colleges. If you contact me, I've got an email that I sent to a lot of people that can direct you in the right path. It doesn't take overly long, but it takes some time. So you have to be certified to coach. Talk to me if you're interested. Can I officiate? We are desperately looking for officials in a lot of sports. In fact, I tell people all the time, Algona's pretty awesome. We've got a number of kids that want to officiate baseball and softball in the summer. We have filled all of Algona's baseball and softball games in the summer, the 10 a.m. games. We filled like 5 of Clear Lake State's and another 3 or 4 of Clarion State's because we got awesome kids that want to do stuff and earn some money. So at the same time, though, during the school year, that's harder. So we don't have as many during the school year. If you're interested in officiate, we need a ton. Volleyball's low, wrestling's low, basketball's getting lower too, football is too. I mean, literally, if you've got a passion for a sport, they would take you as an official. Can you officiate? Yeah, you got to pass the test. You got to get certified through the Iowa High School Athletic Association, the Girls Union. I could help you do all of that. So if you're interested, talk to me. That'd be great. And then just one note that we get: why do we have to buy passes or pay admission? Just one note. Our activities fund is all funded through Gates. All right, it's not anything else. It's all funded through admissions at Gates and stuff like that. So that's how we purchase equipment. That's how we purchase uniforms, stuff like that. That's how we pay for officials, and that price continues to go up and stuff like that. So that's why we have admission costs at our events, because it helps fund all the awesome things that we provide for our kids. And we really do provide a ton for our kids. So again, I appreciate you guys coming. I know it's an absolutely gorgeous night. I know some of you are excited to see your child perform in a concert here in a little bit. I'll stick around for a while. If you got questions, please come see me. But anyway, check out Go Bound Algona. and you'll start registering, and that's where you put your physicals and your concussion paper all for the 24-25 school year. So, sound good? Yeah? All right. Thanks, guys, for coming out. Come see me if you got any questions. Thank you.